Hey, this is John Bohlinger with Premier Guitar. I'm with Anders Osborne in Nashville, Tennessee at the City Winery. Man, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, John, for having me.
Man, I'm a huge fan. I love particularly your slide playing. Could we start discussing just what you're using on slides?
Okay, this is, who was this made by? You know, the Mountain Slides or something?
I think so, that sounds right.
They do their ceramic stuff. I think that's who it is out
Mountain Slides?
I think they're out of Colorado Springs.
Oh.
There's one guy who does, and he does, like usually I have the Italian wine bottle, like dark kind of glass, which is a warm tone to it, but I don't drink anymore, so it's hard to come by. But, so this guy made some, you know, my measurements and all that stuff. Now we have to put a little duct tape in because I shrunk. So that's what that is. And
and you always use it on your pinky, right?
Yeah, on the pinky, and that way it gives me a little more, because I'm not like, I don't think I'm really that versatile on slide, but I use it as a tool in my normal playing. So what I've managed to do is to handicap my playing to 3 fingers, slow me down even more, and then I put it on pinky, which is a really bad finger. So now I got 2 styles that suck. And together they make an average player.
Well, I mean, I love that that modesty, but no, man, I love it. Love your playing. Love how melodic you are, and that's a great way to do it. And then the tone is awesome. So ceramic slides, and is that primarily what you're playing? Those?
This is the guy. Like I said, there is an Italian wine bottle, and I've tried them all.
Yeah.
And there's something about it. I don't know what kind of glass they use and what they do, but it's just the creamiest tone.
Huh.
So you cut it off. Usually I would cut it myself.
Oh, you do it? You make them yourself?
Yeah, and then you take water and sandpaper and you smooth out the edges.
Yeah.
But they break, you know?
Yeah.
So this guy's been with me now for probably 6 months and is doing great.
Oh, great.
I don't have a backup, so we should probably call the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, because tonight's the night when it's going to fall off your amp and break. Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's been working great lately.
Yeah, well, it sounds great.
And the duct tape, usually the measurement has been like, if you can hold it without it falling off, but it's not, you know, tight.
Yeah.
That's usually. Because what happens is that you start sweating and you make you do a little move. Boom.
Right.
And it flies off, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have a little, yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, this is the guitar most people know you for. It's 68, right? 68 body?
The body, as you can see, it's coming through some of the original paint. Right?
Wow, what was the original?
I don't know if it's like some sort of sunburst.
Yeah, because I see red some places.
Yeah,
and
I see red and I see yellow. So I'm thinking it was some sort of sunburst. You see what I'm saying?
So did you get this in New Orleans back in the day?
Yeah, 1985 or 86, somewhere in there. there's a little store called Rock and Roll Music, and it was like an old camper or a trailer home.
Huh.
And it was turned into, used to be a motorcycle store, and then it turned into my friend John Otan. And it was hanging there, and it was just like this. The only thing was the pickup was, you know, the original stuff. And it was $170.
Wow, you got your money's worth.
And I didn't know what it was. I thought it was, because it was hand painted black. It was totally,
Yeah.
you know. And so I thought, I saw the bird's eye maple, and then I found out this guy told me this is rare African ebony. I'm like, it's got to be a hybrid of some sort.
Yeah.
Then I had an expert look at it and said, this is a 68.
Wow.
And which freaked me out. Now I'm still curious about that neck because I don't see them doing this in 68. But what do you
Want me
think?
to interject on that?
Yeah, hey, this is actually
That's
Tech.
The tech.
yeah, Phil.
You should be doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
With this neck, here's the weird thing. Bought it in, what, 85, right?
Bought it in 85.
Bought it in 85. Well, this is a 22 fret neck. Fender USA didn't start making 22 fret necks until about 1988 or 89 when the American Standard Series came
Oh.
out. Not to mention you've got 70s style font on a 60 size headstock, rosewood slab board, and then also this very pretty bird's eye maple.
What, is that rosewood or is
happening
it
back here.
ebony?
Oh, I thought it was.
Or actually, I'm sorry, ebony.
African
yeah,
ebony,
it's
yeah.
ebony. So I did a little research, and the only thing that I could figure is this was an employee neck from Fender Japan.
Oh,
That's the only thing that makes any sense because in 1985, nobody was making fake Fender necks to try to pass off as vintage guitars
Right.
because in the 80s you could buy a 68 for $180 or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yes,
Nobody cared. So that's the only thing that I've been able to find that makes any sense at all to explain how this neck exists in the form that it does because the extra fret didn't exist. You know, an ebony board on a Fender
Very
guitar.
rare African
Right.
ebony.
You know, so everything about it is just very much an anomaly. But yeah, that's the only thing I've ever been able to find is that Fender Japan was happening at that time, and somebody
Perfect.
must have had a crazy idea that hey, well, I'm gonna build this for myself, and this is what I want.
oh.
Because it doesn't make any sense any other way. But I
You
mean,
can
yeah,
tell.
it's just so.
It's very unique. You can feel it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, like an old friend. That's great. Well, meant to be. You were meant to have that guitar.
It is.
Yeah.
So then I put first a black pickup from Seymour Duncan called Hot Rails. You know, that was what lived here for probably 15 plus years, and then about 10 plus years ago, we put in this type of guy. Is it?
It's the little Screamin' Demon.
Yeah.
Okay.
George Lynch
Okay.
of all things. Straight
So if you hear too, Strat. That's a lot of the sound is that I used as metal, a small humbucker thing, right?
Oh, very cool.
So it does something to it, yeah.
And these are original. Those.
Yes.
Cool.
And I think they're messed up, as you can hear. They're out of phase. I'm thinking that I'm thinking this humbucker, because of the double coil here, I think it cancels these out. So these will be now both as if that was the middle position. You understand? It's out of phase.
Okay.
I think it's out of phase.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's actually no real sound for this. If I put a 5-switch, I could probably get it to happen.
Right. Okay, that makes
Oh.
sense.
So it's a messed up, and these are frozen. You can't really open these up. So.
Perfect.
So that's the deal with the age and the numbers and all that stuff.
So yeah, what an amazing story.
Thank you. So the other thing about this guitar as well is, so at that time, let's see if I get my timing right. Yeah, so I had a ticket to Quito, Ecuador, and I was gonna, because I used to like to travel a lot and try to find myself. I didn't realize that I was right here. So what happened was I walked in and I saw this and I started jamming on it and I started making some friends in this little music store where I got it with John and all his employees and the friends that came in. Tommy Ridgely from New Orleans, an old R&B singer, just it was great stuff. Snooks Eaglin and all those people would be in there. And what happened was I said, well, I really like this. Maybe I should stop traveling and maybe I should start playing music for a living. So at the time, how old would I be? So like 19 at the time, right? So I'm thinking, can I do this? Would this be something I could do, play music for a living? In this process, in order to buy this one, I could scramble that up. But the guy that owned the store said, what you really need, that's an old junk guitar. What you really need is this 62 reissue Fender Stratocaster. They just start making it. It's an amazing guitar. Now this is $700, $690 plus tax. I go, cannot do that. I don't have a job or nothing. You know, I'm playing on the streets with my little dobro. And then it dawned on me, if I sell back the ticket to Quito, stop traveling, buy these two guitars, this should be my job. So that's what I did. So I never went to Quito. I want to go to Quito. If anybody has a ticket,
book this man.
Book this man a gig in Quito. So yeah, this was kind of the reason why I stopped traveling and started playing music for
Oh man, it's your Excalibur.
That's it. So and here's the 62 reissue, bought in '85.
Oh wow, so you've still.
And that, by the way, that strap is a gift from the world famous Dave Malone that he had in the late '60s, early '70s. Oh, right. Somebody stole my custom-made strap, leather strap, made with all my different signs and my animal signs and my family tree and shield and everything. Somebody stole it. Dave gave me this. So this is very special to me too. And this was made by his ex-brother-in-law, handmade.
That's great. It's got the funk on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And this is the 62.
Oh, that's great.
And it almost looks.
Yeah, a lot of high mileage on that guitar.
So this guy looks like a 62.
Yeah.
This old, you see this gunk here?
Yeah.
This is from, I used to have this soft case, double guitar case, you know what I mean? You put them both back to back. Well, in the bottom, it had like all this, I would sweat so much after each gig, and I would shove it down there, mixed with all the alcohol beverages that I used to drink and whatnot. And this started to actually absorb the material of the bag. So that's what this is.
Yeah, I don't even want to touch it. Yeah.
Touch it. Touch it. I can't do it.
I can't. Yeah. It's too gross.
So this is so you see how beautifully it is aged and everything.
Yeah. So do they feel pretty similar, those two? Number one?
Oh no, that's more of a flat, I mean it has a little arch to it, but this is a 60, I mean it feels like a 62. How does it sound nowadays? Sounds good?
Yeah, very stratty.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like the real deal. I haven't done anything to it. We have changed, I think, one pickup. Phil has helped me with this. We've had some trouble getting it right, so we worked on this and this, the pots a little bit, but it's all the same. This is a strap from Bob Dylan.
Really? Now that is cool, man. All right, well, those are two very cool guitars. Let's see what else you have.
Let's go downhill from here. Well, here's the Japanese made. Very expensive, not so good to play. And here's Gibson's been very helpful, and they've been providing artist deals for me. So I've been picking up the last 5 years more and more of the Gibsons and the different types of Les Pauls.
Right, that's a 56?
Yeah, so this is a reissue of the 66. It's fairly new, maybe 2-3 years old. So I play this quite a bit, and the more of the kind of straight ahead rock stuff I do, I mean, even the Strats do rock just as well, but. You can't get that with a Strat.
Yeah.
have to favor it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a basketball with some balls. And you can do, a little bit of that tone stuff. It does that really well, just that Americana rock and roll.
Yeah, great. That's a great flavor to have in the arsenal.
Yeah, used a lot of that stuff. The more, obviously 70s rock and some of my Neil-inspired stuff.
Sure.
Will go in that direction. This is a 72 335 that I picked up.
Oh, great.
Pretty recently, and if I played jazz and if I was really fast on guitar, I would use this a lot. But I'm a slow hand. But this really is. So, if you do those. Does that little cream? Is that right? Yeah, it's just a nice 70s. Sounds good, or feeds back, rings well.
Yeah, very creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of the sound, that is very desired for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, these 70s guitars sometimes get a bad rep. I think for everybody out there, go get them now. Buy them.
Right.
Buy them, because it's all individual. You'll find one or two where it's just, even though they produced a lot more back then,
Yeah.
if the wood is good and it was a good Tuesday afternoon of making,
Right.
the guitar's going to be as good as, I think, a 50s or 60s.
Yeah, Gibson made great stuff in the 70s.
They just didn't make them in tune. It's weird.
Right. Yeah, but you've got kind of a sledgehammer right hand too.
Yeah.
Although you play really soft with your fingers as well, but you dig in hard when you.
Yeah, I play a little heavier strings, and then I'm kind of I call it a clumsy player, and out of it comes a couple of cool things.
Yeah. What gauge do you use?
I think it's mostly 11s, and on the Blackie, the Strat, it's 13, 18, 24, 34, 44, 54, right?
Wow. And that's in standard tuning?
Now that's open D.
Oh, open D.
So
Okay.
it goes down a whole
Yeah.
step, yeah.
Oh yeah, those are man strings right there.
Yeah, I kind of end up using capo mostly on that because I need to use open strings to get the dexterity sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
If I have to keep a bar finger, it's too heavy. It make me cramp up.
Yeah. So tell me about this Telecaster.
This Tele is right out of the box, made by Delaney. So I'm checking it out for this tour.
So this is the maiden voyage.
This is the maiden voyage. I'm not familiar with it yet, but I talked to Mike, who makes these, and I said I used to have a 66 Tele. Can you make me basically as close to that of a Tele as possible, and then put your headstock on, whatever, So that's what we did. So I wanted a bright. Very responsive to tone control. Not many guitars do that.
Yeah.
That's good right there. So anyway, still getting used to it.
Yeah, awesome, beautiful guitar.
But it's a great guitar, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get the settings just right and grind it out this tour.
You'll bond over the next couple months,
will.
right?
We will. Me and Delaney. Bond and Delaney.
Right, yeah. Right, that's good. Yeah. Hey, well, you people in internet land can't really hear how loud this is, but this is a very loud band. In fact, he's peeling the paint off the stage. We had actually turned down because it was so loud. But while we're talking about loud and amps, tell me about these amps.
Okay, so what we have here is custom-made stuff. I might need Phil to, but this is like the baby child here of.
And is that your like signature?
Yeah, it's a Category 5, and which is a company out of Dallas. It's Don Ritter, and Barry is one of the makers. And I needed something that was like, basically, I had a '64 concert, Fender concert, and I needed something with reverb, and I needed something that wasn't 45 watts and, you know, getting old.
Yeah.
So I said, can you put twin in a concert, and then a vintage, sort of a big hall reverb? Well, that's what they did. 110 watt, 410 cabinet, all custom made. And we did a couple of spins the first year, and everything kept breaking, and because I play so hard and loud and stuff, and lots, you know, I got more distortion than anybody should have. So I will really maximize my input going in. This one seems to withstand all the stuff I put into it, and it's just great. And this gives me the clean signal, right?
Yeah.
So this would be, see if I get it right. So this would be the clean. Okay, and then on this side, I have a modded Voodoo Lab JCM 800.
Oh.
So basically the 800, since I'm not endorsed by them, we don't want to show that off.
Sure.
But this one is basically a combination. It was a gift from my friend, you know Pepper Keenan?
No.
Okay, plays in a band called Corrosion of Conformity and Down and stuff. Real heavy metal. Well, they have stacks of this, so I don't know if it was a gift. I'm still borrowing it. He's probably gonna call me right now and say, where's my damn amp? So, but we did some modification on it and got it up to where we wanted to match sort of the plexi situation that I have custom here in 50 watt.
Okay.
This is 100. But I needed something to match the plexi, but a little more balls, low end for outdoor venues and bigger places. This again is a modification of kind of what I want, which is a little bit of it's basically a plexi. It has a little bit of variation to it, but that's what this is. Also Category 5, and that's what they do. Handmade, everything, boutique, custom stuff.
So you're running a clean and dirty and just switching between on your, do you ever run both at the same time? Or
always. So that would be this guy, right? So if you listen here. And you mix that with a clean. Oops, sorry. So it's more like a fuller sound. So this stays clean and bright and belly, and this goes into the bottom thing and the crunch, and then it seems to cover everything rather than have one amp try to cover all the frequencies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a killer tone. Great combination.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The only problem is you got to play fairly loud to make it work.
Right. And so the 412 cab category, is it what kind of speakers are you running?
What's in there?
There are 4 75-watt Celestians.
Oh, okay, 75 watt Celestion.
80 watts. It's a 320-watt 4-ohm cabinet.
Okay, 4 80 watt Celestions.
Yes.
Okay.
So they don't break up.
Yeah.
It's the amp doing it. So I'm not. They are basically transparent. And again, what we were trying to do, I'm moving around here for the camera. Sorry about that. Sorry, Perry. The idea was when I started out, the twin and the Marshalls that we requested or anything we put up, I would just fry all of it. It would just, it was barely working. So, and then what I also never had was headroom, because everything was always like starting to break up. So I had to play that sound.
Right.
What I wanted was something, so when I play the festival or whatever it is exactly that same clean, clear. This is the tone, and then I'm, manipulate it with the pedals.
Great. Well, that's the perfect segue into pedal land. Let's talk about those. Okay, so Anders, take us through your signal chain in this mighty pedal board.
Okay, so it goes from the guitar and it goes into a Polytune. It's a TC electronic, and then from there it goes into my wah. Oops. Okay, and then I think it goes to number 1, which these are all true bypass. So I click my 1 here.
And what is that pedal?
And that is we call it Jerry in a box. Or what is that called? Quintron?
It's a mini Qtron.
Mini Qtron.
Yeah, and then you go to an OC2.
Okay, cool.
Everybody must have. So if you do solos.
Yeah.
That's
great.
You can add a little dimension to that. So I use that a lot, actually. The 3 here is a new thing. We have 2 that we go in between. So this one is a Sven face, basically my Swedish nickname, because I was born over there.
Yeah.
It's Sven, and it was coined also by the very world famous Dave Malone. He has big influence on my life.
So
anyway.
so was this made specifically for you?
Well, I think I just got the name, but I think it was made like this fuzz box for Dave Malone way back.
Okay.
And now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like hide all the women and the children. Type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I love that kind of stuff. And,
Yeah.
and if you do it down here, it's still cool.
Right.
You don't have to destroy everything. So that's what that is. Let's see
Great.
what the other guy is. I don't know. What is the other one?
Yeah, that's it's made by Mojo Hand.
Mojo Ham.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what that is. This is just that old, the DS1, like an old distortion, very generic.
Sure.
We have a modded one too, but it's not on here. But this is. Now a lot of these are, you think, oh, they sound the same. The key is you mix one with the other.
Right.
Now you start to get those things. So you usually got to do 2. One of my absolute favorite is this Walrus. It was a gift from, I think it was Don. Either Don or Mike Zito. Mike Zito turned me on to this one. So the number 5 here, this is very transparent. I think it was Don Ritter. Low gain and get a little bite. Sound like an old deluxe breakup.
Yeah.
Really.
Now, is that going? Or is both the clean and dirty amp getting this? Or
yes.
Okay.
They're
cool.
both going into this tone bone where I can mix both.
Yeah.
The key thing we discovered was the true bypass thing. So that means I don't run through all this mess,
Right. Yeah.
So one, and then here, the AC Plus, is that what it's called?
Oh yeah.
This is
By Exotic. Yeah.
yeah, very cool. This is just a little blues, boost. And then it has a little Santana thing here. go on both of them.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's, then 7 is just the Mojo Hand 2 Facer. And then this is an old Rotosphere that I bought probably in the 80s as well, or in the early 90s maybe.
That's great.
That one is, yeah, I love that. And then another Mojo Hand. They do this great analog delay. Okay, and then the digital, what is that one called?
Oh yeah, DD3.
Yeah.
Boss DD3.
And I like the digital part of this, you know, going back and forth, you know, getting these old vintage stuff, but I have such a muddy, vintagey thing going on overall.
Right.
So I found that if the delay stays really exact,
Yeah.
it's a little bit more useful for me. So I stayed with the digital on that. This is, what is this guy? Some kind of tremolo, which is, it has a few settings on it. What's the brand?
It's a love pedal.
Love pedal.
Pedal tremolo.
So I can like, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So you can get real trippy on some breakdown stuff and
Yeah.
have fun. You can really, and once you get the looping, delays, and distortions and feedback, that
Yeah.
turns into a lot of fun.
You know, it's cool. We were watching you during just your, you know, kind of like little sound check,
Yeah.
and you go through. I mean, you use everything. I mean,
Yes,
you
I do.
really do. I mean, like
Yeah.
you're getting different flavors and tones the whole time.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. Just very expressive.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then running it all through. Do you know who made this?
The bypass, the click,
That is
the clicker pedal.
a company out of Canada called Road Rage.
Road Rage. Okay, so this is a Road Rage.
Yeah.
That's great. And Voodoo Labs is powering everything. It looks
I
like.
believe so.
All the cabling is all Planet Wave solderless connection.
Planet Wave cabling and Voodoo Labs power.
Yeah, that's it. That's the rig.
That's great, man. I mean, it's a really expressive rig. I mean, and you're a really expressive player. Great.
Oh, thank you.
Well, man, it's such a pleasure to meet you, and
You too, sir.
congratulations on all the success. And
Thank you.
have fun on this never-ending tour.
I know. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, man.
you too.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.